A lot of bombshells dropped in this chapter of Attack on Titan. Things is moving, and I'm super hype about it. For starters, we immediately go in and we find out what it was, the conversation that Eren overheard when he was like, half unconscious, half conscious, while he was knocked out from Bertolt and Ymir. And the big bombshell right there is that pretty much the Reyes wants to eat Eren, because if you eat a Titan shifter, you basically gain their abilities, and they want to gain that ability that he has, that very, special ability to control things, and that they pretty much, they don't care, even if it's a random Titan, then they can, control the person when he goes back into a normal human form. They just need to get it out of him because he's considered, a traitor at this particular point. And one, me being the kind of theorist that I am, I love to make theories and, just shit like that, it just kind of started making me think, okay, so if the secret to becoming a Titan shifter, or, getting out of that Titan form once you've been transformed into a Titan, is to eat another Titan shifter, well, first of all, that makes you wonder, okay, then how did they become Titan shifters in the beginning? Was it that the serum that was used on them to become Titans was different, or it was, a failure to turn them into Titans, like they just were half on and off, the original Titan shifters? So that was one thing. But also, Eren, what if there was a huge possibility that Grisha, his father, was a Titan shifter with that ability to pretty much control the Titans, and pretty much he gave him the serum, turned his son into a Titan, and allowed his son to eat him immediately and consume him and become a Titan shifter? That just got me thinking right there, because we still haven't seen Grisha, if he's dead or alive. We assume that, one of the assumptions anyway, one of the theories is that Eren turned into a Titan and ate his father immediately out of rage. And if he put the serum in him and he just went out of control, he could have ate him, and bam, that's where he got his Titan shifter ability from, to turn into back to, a normal person. I was just thinking, like, so Grisha, that's why he possibly was on the run and why he was scared, because he had that ability, and if they found out, they were going to get him, and maybe they were already onto him. And we got a little bit more info as well, because we've heard before that, Ymir pretty much fucked them over, and she killed one of their friends, and now it all makes sense that Ymir, the reason why she turned into, because we knew that she was wandering around for like 60 years, we knew that she'd been around for a long time as a Titan, just rummaging around, so pretty much she went and ate one of their Titan shifter friends, and that's why they kind of had like this gripe with her. And maybe it's like, they're part of this bigger organization. It's like, yo, you ate one of our people, and just because, you got their power, we're not going to respect you, and that's why you need to come in with us, and that's why you're going to automatically be killed. So that was another huge thing in this chapter as well. And it also gives a reason why everything is separated, why, Annie has that crystallization ability, why Eren has that ability. Whoever you eat, you pretty much gain their power, so it's separated between different Titan shifters. I thought it was only a matter of time until they got Erwin. Almost every chapter I was wondering, they're going to get him eventually, and in this one, he pretty much has to hand himself in, because they're framing him and his people for the deaths of the Reeves Company head. And I was just thinking to myself, like, yo, this is so fucked up. I could totally see them either executing Erwin, or Erwin is going to go in a rage and just start killing everyone around him, because they're not going to, this is all a big trap to get to get him down and, pretty much dismiss all of his bullshit. And I'm curious if Pixies dropped the dime on him, because he said that negotiations fell through with Pixies. Don't expect any, backup from him or whatnot. Pixies, I thought, was a good person. I don't see why he would, change his mind unless it's because of what's going on. Pixies is like, this is too risky, I'm out. So I was a little disappointed in the character Pixies, because I didn't see him as that, other than maybe it's a possibility that this is all according to plan and he wants Hanji to think that way. And now Hanji is a new commander. The part of the chapter that I wasn't really too fond of was her with Flegel. I guess that was the son of the guy. It was like, we're in a desperate situation. That was kind of like, I guess, a slow bit as well. It was important because it's kind of like showing what Hanji's going to do with her next move. And this little piece of shit coward, Flegel, was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I was like, I wanted to just strangle this little motherfucker. Like, listen to her, like, you piece of shit. It was just getting me so annoyed. And this chapter also really showed the might and the power of the forces within, the walls, the actual humans. Because, like, if they can do all this, pull all this off, get Erwin, framed, him and his people for the depth of the Reeves Company head, just do all these different things, it's really showing that they're more than just like talk. They're more than just normal humans. They have a lot of authority and a lot of shady ways to get through with their message, and pretty much they're like, their message is, don't fuck with us. We're going to do our thing, and this is how we're going to do it. Now, I was a little bit confused regarding the whole thing where it says Reyes wants to eat Eren. Did they mean the exact king? Because remember, we seen the king, and he just kind of looked fucking miserable. So I'm sure there's a lot more than meets the eye with the king and his role within, the Reyes, operation and whatnot. But when they said the Reyes, were they referring to, like, Historia. I don't believe they were talking about Historia, because Historia looks like the only thing she wants is like Ymir's butthole. So like it's not Historia, obviously. So I'm guessing they referring to the actual like throne that is being occupied now. That was a little bit confusing there. When we cut back to everyone, I was kind of a little bit disappointed with them as well. Like, how dare you doubt Levi? Like, they were kind of like a little bit shaky. And then the scene where one of Levi's worst nightmares came true, where he loses his crew again. It was like 3 different people, I believe, that got killed. Possibly more. I just remember in particular like 3 of the characters getting killed and slaughtered. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, Levi lost the crew again. And I remember how tragic it was the last time. And then when he saw, you know, like Sasha and them, and he was like, you know, I can't lose people anymore. And it was just like, fuck, when he lost his people, like, you know, that's going to trigger a huge thing in him. And just, I'm really curious, like, we got a little bit of backstory into Levi. You know, that's what we've been getting for the past few chapters, and this one added a little bit more. He grew up with this guy, the other Ackerman guy, and it's making me wonder, to what extent is Levi's relationship with him? What went wrong that made him, you know, go on different sides of the fence, so to speak? And then we see that Kaney dude at the end of the chapter coming in, and great setup at the end of this chapter for what's going to be a huge class. We got basically teacher and disciple, because it seems as though he was the guy that taught Levi most of his instincts. He's like, yo, this guy's thinking the way I would think. And then Kaney shows up. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Seems like Kaney or Kaney. I'm not really sure. I'm going to call him Kaney until we get clarification on that bit. But just the setup at the end, and just like right now, there's such a powerful setup with Levi losing his people to this Kaney guy and everything. And it just seems like all of their efforts, you know, they've done so much trying to set things up so that they could stop the threat outside the wall, and it's basically the people inside the walls that are devouring each other. I mean, we find out in this chapter that mainly the Titans, they're not really evil. You can't really say that they're evil. They basically are mindless, and they have one slither in their head, and that's to keep eating people. And I think it's truly because if they keep eating people, if they eat the right one, then they'll basically be able to turn back into normal, turn into a Titan shifter. And I'm guessing maybe it's sort of like, not a spell, but maybe it's sort of in the Titan DNA thing that they have that mindset. Maybe it's some sort of operation that went wrong, and that was the whole thing that they put in their mind. So that way when they get turned into Titans, it's just, gotta turn back. And that's why it was hell for Ymir those 60 years. But you look at it in that perspective, and then you see what the people inside the walls are doing, endangering the world for their own power and selfish goals. And it's just like, fuck humanity in a way. Overall, one of the best Attack on Titan chapter in months again. I feel as though with each month for the past 2 to 3 months, it has been getting increasingly better. This one, very good shit right here. I'm going to give this bad boy 8.5 out of 10. Very good stuff. The little bits with Flegel felt slow and kind of unnecessary in a way. I don't know if Flegel, especially if the fact that he's kind of like saying, no, basically, I'm not helping you out, Hanji. I'm not going to testify. I'm not putting my life in danger. So fuck Flegel. And just the huge revelations that we got in this chapter. A little bit more about how they get turned from Titans into Titan shifters. A little bit more about their powers. Erwin basically being imprisoned, and now Hanji is the new commander. It's just so much fucking shit went down in this chapter. It's like, matter of fact, know what? Fuck it. No, not very good. This was actually a great chapter. Fuck that 8.5. Giving it a 9 out of 10. Moving that bad boy up, because I just realized we had so much progression, so much revelation, so much shit went down, and a great setup at the end. Powerful shit. This is going to be character development for Levi. Fuck yeah, great shit. 9 out of 10. But let me know what you guys think. First of all, you think it was a possibility that Grisha, Aaron's father, was indeed the original Titan shifter that had that power to command the other Titans, and that's why they were after him, and he quickly turned his son into a Titan so his son could devour him? And just what do you think of all the madness in this chapter? So much shit went down. Revelations. Erwin is in captivity. Pixies basically gave them the finger. He's not going to help them. Like, what, are you just like mind-fucked at what happened? That's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for this Levi versus Kaney fight. It looks like it's going to be beast as fuck, and I can't wait to see if the student can overcome the master. ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.